And we are on. Happy Sunday. God bless. God bless. We are the Runaway Warlords. I'm here today with the DarkBriton, Sagreen, and Bullet. How you boys doing?
Doing really good. Excited for a lot of the discussion for the day.
Yeah, Britt, you had a great idea for a title today. Joy Boy Theory, Power Hour. Blah! I think the title just rocks. It rocks in your ears, you know. Joy Boy Theory, Power Hour.
Speaking of rock, that's kind of where the first theory of mine.
Oh, nice.
Because, and I can just start off with it's really just a wild idea. But I just noticed this morning walking, the silhouette of Luffy and the waviness reminds me a lot of the silhouette of Rocks. And we don't necessarily know what Rox' Devil Fruit was. And it would make sense that Rox' Devil Fruit was under lock and key and not Rox'.
No, I'm thinking about is Rox's hair right now. I'm looking it up. Yeah. Hold on. Rox.
That is what I'm alluding to.
Is that back?
Hair, that waviness.
Whoa! Well, is it gooey wavy? Is it gooey wavy though? Oh, it kind of is.
That's what I'm saying. It would be a much more of a twist and tease if we're expecting this to be Roger Fruit, but we're also introduced to Rock.
Oh my God! Okay, we need more. That I'm just looking. That is actually insane.
Wait, what happened with the Rocks filler episode?
What's that?
Where are we seeing Rocks in the show or in the manga? That we know anything about him?
So, we don't know anything. We've only seen silhouettes of his hair
twice. In Marineford when Sengoku or whatever is talking to everybody about it, and then when Kaido looks into the horizon and sees what Luffy represents as all these, like, you know, good fighters, basically.
Yeah. So that's at least what I'm saying is, we don't know if Rox's silhouette was him in his Devil Fruit form, one. And now that we're seeing Luffy's Devil Fruit form, I'm hoping this is attached to a Devil Fruit, not like a Child of Promise. It just makes more sense along those lines. As opposed to as that. And the naming of it, like that has its own questions and all that. Hey, cool kid. But
yo,
you're muted, bud. So.
Yeah, I'm not totally late yet.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, okay. So this is the Joy Boy Theory Power Hour, and Wayne was just talking about how Rox Zabek has like the crazy ass hair, and how what happens if like those two devil fruits are connected, right? Like what happens if because right when Roxy Sebek is defeated and killed, presumably, there's Goldie Rogers' crew ready to have a spare fruit on hand for the demon to go into, you know.
As well as the Marine. Because
oh, no, that's right! Wait a minute. Yeah, the Marines had it, and then Shanks stole it from the Marines.
Oh, not only the Marines, the world government, because they were being protected. So the world, at least we know that the Celestial Dragons were there. By proximity, ACP agents, ACP units would be there protecting them as well. So it would stand to reason if Rox died in God Valley, then that Devil Fruit would have turned up there.
Right. So why would Shanks want Rox's Devil Fruit, right? So then that would mean that's like this crazy Sun Wukong thing, not just or whatever, the Joy Boy fruit, you know. Well, I don't know, maybe we can talk about that as the Joy Boy fruit.
The more that I see Rox's silhouette, the more that I can get a Sun Wukong long hair vibe from it.
So are you guys implying Rox's fruit is the same as Luffy's fruit, the Gum Gum
That's what I'm implying, yeah.
That's crazy. I mean,
Because
same.
we weren't led to believe that Roger had a fruit when we got to see him interact and fight. We weren't led to believe that. So just who
I
else?
mean, I feel like at this point it's pretty clear that Roger doesn't have a fruit.
Yeah, because that would be the most insane answer of all, is that Roger never had a fruit, and it was Rox's fruit the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm like liking it more and more right now.
If it was Rox's fruit, then wouldn't he have been Joy Boy?
He must have been a little bit, but not enough? No, I don't know.
Remember the time fluctuates as well.
Well, it says I hear the drums of liberation for the first time in 800 years he is here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Joy Boy is a title too.
I don't know. It was just a theory.
Well, we can separate.
Went
Yeah.
from Joy Boy, then to Rox, and then to Luffy. Then that means that breaks down all the theory of all the Child of Prophecy stuff being with Luffy being Child of Prophecy stuff. That thing will be like, it will be demystified, and then it will be an interesting irony, being that Rox and Luffy had the same dream, but Rox went by chasing his dream in a completely opposite way than Luffy.
Oda does a lot of those symbolism aspects, so I could definitely see something in that regard. And again, this was literally something that I thought about maybe an hour and a half ago while walking the dog and just thinking about life. It's just like, wait a second, Rox's silhouette really looked a lot like Luffy. So if I were to ever throw out like some, Carmean scatterbrained idea, that's the one. Is just okay. The silhouette, Sun Wukong. We've seen Rox. We understand that Roger didn't have a fruit. Kind of would make sense if there was a devil fruit component, that if you got to a certain level, maybe people just didn't understand what it was like before. So maybe this Joy Boy phase could have been the same phase that everyone knew Rox from, and that would be the thing that snaps Kaido into his flashback about Rox.
That would be interesting.
Because here comes someone.
Do you think this is an awakening of his devil fruit?
And that's in the awakening would be how everyone recognized Rox's fruit when he was in it.
So that means which means no one knew Rox without, like, no one knew Rox in his normal form.
Potentially.
I just want to go back. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, let's go back, because you're hitting some really cool ground here, but I think I want to disconnect some things. I think we're putting two things together that maybe shouldn't be there. I think I did it, actually. Okay. So it's not the Joy Boy fruit, right? It's, let's for fun, the Sun Wukong fruit, okay? It has nothing to do with Joy Boy. It's just what Rox Zebek had. It's just his devil fruit. And the Navy executed him then, right?
I'm guessing he died in God Valley during that fight.
But the Marines were there, right?
Yeah, they were there.
Garp was there.
They were there, but they would usually execute him off of the island, and we know for a fact that he at least had to die because he was lost throughout time after God Valley, however.
Why would you then take him somewhere else to have a big public execution if he's lost time?
Wait, he's lost the time?
No one knows about him. And that was only 40 plus years ago.
Here's the thing. From what we know from the world governments, to show their dominance and to assert their dominance, they will definitely execute him publicly. So it's either he died and there was no body, his body wasn't found, or no one knows. Maybe he just disappeared, and no one really knows.
I get your point, but even the Marines who are like older Marines have no understanding of his public execution. That's what I mean. People would have at least known who was getting publicly executed. So he would not be surprised when he was mentioned. Like, who's Rox? Oh, I remember his public execution. That would have been the dynamic, not who's Rox. We've never heard of this guy. We've never heard of God Valley. If there was a public execution, then they would have known about Rox, and they would have known about God Valley. So I get your point, but it doesn't seem like in this instance they even wanted him to even have a public execution. So that's why I would argue that either he died on the island during that instance, or he died at some point, and that's how they got the stone.
So the only Marine we know that was in the only high-ranking Marine that we know was in the place was Garp.
We don't know, yeah, because we don't know if Sengoku or Tsuru was there. Tsuru?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tsuru. We don't know if either of those two were there. It was just, from our knowledge, it was just Garp, Roger. We don't even know if Rayleigh was there. And somehow they had defended the Celestial Dragons and Slaves.
I'm just making another.
Wouldn't Garp have known then what Luffy's fruit was?
Potentially.
Garp wouldn't say anything about it.
But at the same time, again, Rox's fruit, if we're looking at the Gumma movie, it looks like there's two different phases. This first phase where Luffy is stretching and doing all this, and this whatever this next phase is going to be. I can see people who are just now seeing Luffy's devil fruit, seeing only this next phase, only seeing that as what it can do and not necessarily attributing it to the stretching. So if people only saw rocks in this final phase, they probably wouldn't attest to that stretching part that Luffy had to go through. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What about the idea? I think Doug said this on the stream. Oh my god, my cat's going crazy.
Zoro.
Zoro's going nuts over here. I think Doug was mentioning what happens if like the hat is a actor in this whole play?
That's also very.
I don't know about. And if the hat is the power to do something, I don't know what. And maybe it doesn't even have a power. I don't know, but it could like embody into it. Like it's the idea of the simple man, the everyday farmer guy, not a king that rules the sea, but a regular old Joe. Something like that. But if you separate the two, that Luffy, okay, he actually is the holder of the Gumma Gumma no power, and this whole thing is a distraction. Like the whole the devil fruit has another name, but we don't know. We still don't know if we're talking about Luffy or not, right?
Yeah, that is true.
So when Zunisha says Joy Boy has awakened after 500 years, and we see Luffy go into this goo form, this could be a hat power to enable like Joy Boy to be like give Luffy his power basically. So it could be a totally different power altogether.
Like a mask, but on the head.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like this goo stuff. Anyway, that would be interesting. I like that idea, where the hat becomes a player in all of this.
Could you imagine, Wayne?
No, it's one of those things. I have seen weirder things in One Piece.
His head turns green, man.
The hat just comes alive and just like flows down and is like smoking. I really do not.
The mask.
Wait, do our two younger viewers get that?
Cool, good. Have you seen The Mask with Jim Carrey?
Oh yeah, of course. Then you made a mistake in your life.
Grant, have you seen it? Yeah.
No way.
That means my whole life was a mistake.
Really?
No, it's not that good of a movie.
I mean,
we'll have to have like a family night and watch it together.
Oh man, do we have to, Dad? Dad, do we have to? I don't want to.
You know that would be so much fun. It would not. It does not hold up well at all.
I mean,
it was Cameron Diaz's first movie, so I'm down for watching that again.
What? Really?
It was.
Oh my god.
That's
How do you
live
go
action
from-
with Jim Carrey. Yeah.
you know, Jim Carrey's really good in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies.
I have yet to see. I want to see Knuckles yet.
I know. You know, I have to say the Sonic movie. It wasn't. It's a kids movie, but it's just done really eloquently. You know, it's just done really well. It's good. It's good.
As a Sonic fan, I can confirm it's surprisingly really, really good. I can't wait for the sequel.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm just still a little scared because I saw the first Sonic in February 2020, and then the next month happened, and I'm like, I don't think I should go back to the movies.
So.
COVID hit.
Yeah, that exactly happened to me. That was actually, I think, the last movie I saw before the pandemic happened.
Yeah, so I'm still a little trigger shy with Sonic right now. I'll wait for a moment. Trailing back to theory time.
Yeah, I had a thought. Oh yeah, okay. So we got 3 different possibilities. Either Joy Boy is about to like make Luffy into some kind of like Avatar awakening thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could just be looking at Gear 5 Luffy, and that he's like, oh yeah, this person is strong enough to be Joy Boy right here. Here he goes, and then Luffy is just like, okay, I'm awakening my devil fruit right now. And it doesn't have to do with the hat, doesn't have to do with anything. It's just a Gear 5. And it's the resin mode. One of Oda's favorite panels is Luffy partying in the woods at Sky Island. I forget the third, but the second favorite is when Robin is describing Sabaody and how there's a resin to the bubbles. And then she wipes the resin off on Usopp and he's like, hey! Yeah, so that's interesting that he says the whole resin bit, and that's what has some people talking like, you know, Oda's not only had this for a while, but is like making a major part of the story is like him turning into resin. So it could just be a Gear 5, and we're looking too much into it, obviously. I don't know. Could be the hat. A lot of different options down here.
I still like to think it's, you know, Joy Boy actually controlling him to me, but, you know.
Well, we don't want to see like Joy Boy controlling him, because that means Luffy didn't win the fight, Joy Boy did, right?
Yeah, and that's where I'm at.
Oh, I hate that.
I know people are going to be mad about that, but, like, you know, I'm still on the firm belief that, you know, Oda went out with his fight to say, look, Luffy lost, Kaido won. You know, if you know, Luffy were to...
You didn't say Luffy's name. He just said the Battle of the Rooftop. Kaido, the King of the Beast one. He didn't say Luffy lost.
Yeah, but I mean, if he were just to move that fight down, just to say, oh yeah, this is a new fight, I don't know how I would... It just...
The final fight...
Weird.
Final fight, the Battle of the Sky. Because we've had battles of the rooftop, the basements, the east and west. So we just need like a battle of the butt, I guess, of the Nishima. There's been battles of each part of the island.
Right. They fight on top of Zoe at the end.
Or they could I could probably see them fighting right over all the lanterns, which would be epic. Oh my god, that would be so cool.
Oh wow. And resin.
Like they have all the lanterns like in all the everything above it, and then you just see their shadows just clashing above it. That'd be so cool.
So going to what this resin stuff could possibly mean power-wise, right? What happened? You know, I've always liked to think of like Luffy's ultimate power just being him as a person, just strong, right? So like it's like no rubber ability whatsoever. It's just like him fighting, like maybe a little lankier or something, but like him looking like a fairy, the fairy armor in Majora's Mask. You know what I'm talking about? Majora's Mask, the Fairy King mask.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Basically, it just makes him taller and look cool. That I would just love to see that as Luffy's final form, is like just lankier and tall, because that would make him seem like, real. I don't know. I think that would look really cool panel wise, just lankier. Anyway,
He's gonna be taller. That's a given. All his forms are definitely a lot. Add to his physique and his length. I don't know. I'm interested in where we go from here, just because are we still going to call it Gumu Gumu? I hope it's still a Gumu Gumu no Mi. It's just mind-blowing to think that it's not, and the possibility that it's not. Can we make the argument that why didn't Luffy say that it wasn't the Gumu Gumu no Mi? Well, he loves Shanks so much that he's just called it that because Shanks said it. I can see that. I can see that being a really, it's not necessarily a cheap explanation, but it's a very simple explanation. That
What
would
if
still
he
piss off a
also
lot of people.
doesn't know?
Well,
What if
What
he
if
also
also-
doesn't know that is a different fruit from what he knows it for?
What if he does or doesn't know that?
What if he doesn't know it?
Apparently, all the fruits you know when you eat them, unless this fruit has a mechanism where you think it's one thing until it transforms.
Wasn't that a mistranslation of a? I thought that was a mistranslation of a Oda box, or sorry, Oda interview, or whatever. What is that? When the fans SBS.
Yeah, the SBS.
What did it say?
I'm looking it up right now.
Because I hadn't heard anything.
Then even if you know what the devil fruit is by eating it, then this will make it like more relevant to the reason why the name was changed.
Want me to read it? You want me to read it out?
Sure.
Okay. Hey Oda, I got a question. It's about a devil fruit. During the time with Kaku and Khalifa of CP0, they said they didn't know anything about the devil fruit until they ate it. But during Luffy's time, how did they already know that it was called the Gumago fruit? Please tell me. Please now. Please tell me. A White Hunter fan. Well, I will go into more detail about devil fruits in the main story at a later time, but there is sort of an identification manual for devil fruits. It has information about the name and powers of each fruit, but there are a few that even have pictures to go with it. The Gum Gum fruit has a picture in this book, but the fruits for Kaku and Khalifa did not. They had to eat it to find out what abilities they had, and then they would go look for the name. That's how the conversation went. The conversation is in volume 40, by the way. That's for the question corner for volume 45. See you next volume. So that means that they didn't know until they're like, okay, my body's stretching. Okay, I'm obviously a giraffe. Now I gotta look for what the giraffe fruit thing.
Yeah.
So it's not saying that everyone knows the name of the devil fruit. They know that they're just saying they.
Yeah, he did. He says they knew the name after they ate it.
No, because they're like, okay, I just turned into a giraffe. This is a giraffe fruit.
So you just you understand the abilities, and then from there you can make a decision of what you want to name it or what.
Right, meaning that somebody named the devil fruit something else, but Luffy didn't know that. He was like, oh, I'm obviously a rubber person. I'm like stretching like a mofo. This is the Gumma Gumma fruit.
Since you talked about reading it there is in a book, right? Seems like there's a book.
Oh, he did say that it was in the book, didn't he?
And that's the book that the Celestial Dragons changed the name in, is what I'm assuming.
Oh, right. So he saw. So he's like, oh, it's the Gumma Gumma fruit. Obviously, it's not the Sun Wukong fruit.
Yeah.
So maybe no, like you said, no one knew the devil fruit in the base form. So when they changed the name of the fruit, that was the reason it had impact. Since no one knew, everyone just knew it as in its awakened form, not in the base form.
Yeah, because for instance, we all, and this is a very funny way of putting it, but it might be the case. We have no idea. Kaido's fruits. Look at that, Louis. Kaido's fruit. We only know it in this dragon form. But if we get to this flashback and he looks like a frickin' magic card, our understanding is now going to be that there are the two different variations of mystical. There can be two different variations of mystical fruits.
Yeah, but Momo didn't turn into a...
The base one? That's a good question. That's probably why it's a failure. Remember, that fruit was a failure.
Yeah, but my only problem with that is the Azure Dragon isn't like the I forgot what the exact type of dragon it's called, but Azure Dragon isn't like one that becomes like from a fish and jumps into the water. Yeah,
it is. That's why it's the fish fruit.
Yeah, God, is it? Let me look this shit up real quick.
It's a fish.
We've already got. It was the fish fruit in the Azure Dragon.
How did
from the story of the carp going up the mountain and then becoming
I think
dragon.
I'm pretty sure it's a different.
Maybe it is.
I have to look this
up. I don't know. I mean, I think he just was a dragon like that. I mean, just from what I could see. But
we have, once we see this 15-year-old Kaido, and even more, prime 24-year-old Big Mom, well, it'll be much more interesting. That
is funny, the whole failure aspect of Momo's fruit. You almost have me convinced on something's wrong with it. But he turns into a big-ass dragon, so what's the problem, you know?
But we're getting his Vegapunk.
Also, he could have just called it a failure. He could have just called it a failure so that nobody would eat it.
True. Or he could have just called it a failure because he's pink and he should be blue. No, Vegapunk is an anomaly that is very, very interesting.
I think they're trying to hide it from the world government, since if they know, if they knew it was a success, they're gonna push him to make more, to build an army of those devil fruits. Since we know since they knew the pacifista was a success, they made an army of pacifistas. What if they knew he told them Momo's fruit was a success as well?
I don't know.
I hope that background music is playing. Drew.
What's that? What background music?
I started introducing background music.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. No, it's not. Well, let's get back into Joy Boy. So, Zunisha, obviously, so it's around the same time frame they knew each other. Another idea is that Joy Boy had Luffy's devil fruit, and that's what made Joy Boy's legs so long. Is like a weakened ability to stretch someone's legs. Are we still in with that, or is that kind of oh, maybe? But
Joy Boy's or Zunisha's legs so long?
Okay, Joy Boy is the one who made Zunisha's legs so long.
It's something that I would not put past Oda.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The next question is the goop resin? Are we 100% there that it's another rubber ability, or is it something totally separate, like Joy Boy giving Luffy a second devil fruit, basically?
Wait, to stop for a minute, I'm back from my little Azure Dragon search, and I can tell you, it is not the same. The Azure Dragon's not the same dragon that turned from a carp to a dragon, but it could easily be, just Oda mixing legends,
which he does a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so oh my god, okay, so Blackbeard has 2 devil fruits. We think he's gonna get 3 devil fruits, right? Dude, how cool would it be if this gave Luffy a second devil fruit of some sort, Okay, you know how you can insert a devil fruit into an object?
Okay.
Oh my god. He puts on the hat, and then the hat is an infused devil fruit.
Oh boy. Okay. I just realized where we were going with that.
Just like quick problem.
Yeah.
Just wondering why, if it had double fruit before, why didn't it been used? Because Shinx had the hat, Roger had the hat, and whoever else had the hat before him.
I don't know. Maybe that's a hole in my plan. Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. I'm pretty sure it is a hole.
But that would be gnarly though. If it was like some kind of hidden. I don't know. I just want to see Luffy have 2 double fruits too. Like if you had the flame.
No. The hat is a phoenix down. All right.
Oh, I love that! I love that! That actually makes a lot of sense because Roger gave it to Shanks. Like, I don't need this. But you gotta live on. Here's my protection for you. Because he gives it to him like protection.
Wait.
I love that idea!
Wait, a phoenix down?
So, what a phoenix down is... A phoenix down is like a revive when you're dead in the Final Fantasy series, right?
I know.
You get cut off.
I play Final Fantasy. I'm just saying, you're telling me it's a phoenix down. What was it? Are we going to fight freaking the monster? God damn it, or whatever the hell his name is.
It works better when you clip back with the right name.
right. But what, so you're saying all this as a protest. You do not like the idea. So you just like the hat to be a hat then? Like why put all the extra faff on it?
Yeah, just be a hat. Maybe a legacy.
I don't know. Now that we've seen that giant frickin' straw hat and if we had not seen that hat, I would not have given this as much credence. Now that we saw that giant hat that Eam was looking at, I really don't know. I really don't. If that scene had never happened, I'd be like, no, makes no sense. Couldn't possibly. Since that is actually in play in the story, I don't know.
That's too cool not to be something. Yeah, I have its own little...
I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot about that giant straw hat. I should reread, Reverie. Yeah. I gotta reread Reverie sometime, but yeah. I completely forgot about that.
Okay, well, wait a minute. So if the hat does have a power, how come it doesn't come up till now? That's what you guys said. You're like, why didn't anybody else get it? Because it's a Phoenix down. Because you only need the hat once. You need it to reactivate if you died. And Luffy took on Kaido's biggest hit, full on dead. Like what else can kill you besides the strongest attack in the world? You know.
Wait, didn't CP0 hit him at the same time too?
He just stopped it. He just stopped the blow. He didn't actually hit him.
No,
yeah.
He just basically made him stop so Kaido can hit him.
Oh,
yeah.
That panel of Kaido just being like, no!
Right.
And everyone and their mother just being like, oh, this dude's dead. He did. We finally see a death on one dude.
And wait a minute, so what's up with the goo, right? So is the goo like a healing factor, and then Luffy goes into Gear 5?
Well,
but then you don't have the straw hat! Then there's no straw hat!
Yeah,
maybe it gets infused into the rubber, you know?
As I said last week, it may just be smoke.
So we literally have...
Well, let's see.
The Joe Boy, we literally have, it can be the hat, it can be Luffy, it can be the devil fruit. So,
I just
what are the other
Awakening.
Awakening, so, yeah. So it could be a different devil fruit, or it could be a devil fruit awakening. So we have 4 different options already on just what the hell is going on. Can we make it 5? Can we make it 5 weird options on what's happening?
Actually,
it could be Nika. Thank God, Nika.
Yeah, but that's part of the devil fruit being something.
I mean, you could debatably say Joy Boy also, and if we try to get somewhat of the same result.
So kind of like Joy Boy just was a spirit around Wano and just inhabited a dead Luffy's body. Let's okay, 5. We made 5 kind of.
So I'm
those 5. We can guarantee.
I want to go back to the smoke thing real quick.
Probably not. The smoke coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, there's smoke coming out of his mouth and his body, but his hair has the resin. It's solidly shaped.
It's hard to tell just because I don't know if that's hair or if that's straw hat. The googly stuff. It really is hard. Without the actual color, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, you just can't really tell. But I mean, I do kind of like the idea that, you know, Luffy's, I guess, true fruit name is Resin, which I do like that a lot more than something like the Wisdom King or Sun Wukong, just because, you know, how, like, we know how, like, you know, devil, like, zone works and even mythical, so it would kind of be even weirder for just a normal mythical, so I kind of like it better as the idea of resin than, you know, any of those.
Gives new credence to it being gummy. Gummy. Which is fair.
Yeah.
You could turn into a gummy bear.
Vile form. I become delicious.
Both sticky and elastic.
Wow.
Well, that color page where he was looking at the monkey who's pointing at the resin, like, there are different things that people could take from that. And at the same time, we don't know the attributes of the gods in this realm. So Oda has a huge breadth to be able to, like, actually have fun and create its own god who can have all of these different attributes as well, which is pretty interesting.
Wasn't God in Skypiea?
Yes, so. Well,
Wasn't God in Skypiea?
No. In Skypiea, God is a title, not an actual, you know, being.
Skypiea, like, rap. They have a rap god in Skypiea. Eminem is their one and only of Skypiea.
Okay. So, with this resin ability, what if it is the resin ability? What attacks will he have?
Not exactly.
You have to have something really cool.
He's gonna be Katakuri.
Well, that's also the other thing with the resin is why isn't he sticky? Like Katakuri was. Because Katakuri was sticky.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's the biggest thing.
Maybe it's like, you know, pre-awakening. It's like, I don't know, hardened resin, maybe?
So he gets all sticky when he's awakened?
Yeah, maybe it's something along those lines.
Dirty.
That's what I can think of off the top of my head right now.
With during awakening all over the place.
What if all over the place?
Yeah, what if Gear5 is not actually Luffy's awakening? What if it's just another power up?
Right, like the resin.
Ooh, that would be crazy.
Right.
Just imagine if we're not even there. We're not even at awakening. It's just
we're not even close.
because imagine, like, we know Blackbeard is gonna be getting stronger. Even though Kaido is the strongest creature in the world, Luffy didn't single-handedly take him down from his 100% strength. Luffy started, it was a collaboration, and then later Luffy took him down on one-on-one. But then there are other stronger opponents that he's gonna meet that are gonna be stronger than the Kaido he fought one-on-one.
Yo, but Santa, what's up?
Oh, Santa?
So saying, Luffy getting his awakening now, and then what other power-ups will he have later on?
It depends on what the awakening is. Like, that's the thing. It could be an awakening of making other things rubbery. It could be an awakening of... I honestly don't know, other than making, like, its own balance health. I really don't know.
I'm kind of disagreed on this. It's kind of like it's kind of like a little bit limit. Like there's a limit there, like creativity wise. Like okay, everything's rubber, right? I don't know how I could add that much. I get what he's saying. This is what I'm telling you guys. The whole idea where it's like okay, let's combine like the Phoenix Down idea, like the hat is the Phoenix Down, and a second. And it's like a second
really
devil fruit.
Play Final Fantasy,
I mean, like Final Fantasy. No, just kidding.
I need to play Final Fantasy 10 again soon.
It's really good. I miss it.
Oh, dude, one of my favorite RPGs.
I did like the.
People are going to kill me over this.
Oh, I thought you had something after that.
No, Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite too.
Okay.
That's probably my favorite of all time.
Well, perfect. Okay, so you love this. okay. So whenever you die with the hat on, you get okay. Let's go with Joy Boy. You get Joy Boy's power. Okay, and so then Luffy essentially has whatever is this gooey stuff and his rubber ability. So it's a combination of two different devil fruits, something like that. That would have a combination of things that you could build up on, right? Maybe. Well, what is up with the resin? The resin is so weird. I guess it's just resin. It's rubber resin, and that's the thing.
Let's say it's not really resonating with you. Right?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I had to. I just had to.
I know. It's fine. I forgive it. I don't know. And on the gooey thing, is that hockey? Right? Because it's black like that?
Well,
again, I thought that was just hair. I just thought that was just hair.
I mean, it could be that, or it could literally just
Isn't
be
he laying down on a hat?
shading.
That's what I said. I said it might be hacky, like when he when he changes to Gear Force. Normally there's this gas or say smoke that comes out of his body. So I think that's what it is, but on a larger scale. Since this is definitely like going to be a stronger power up than Gear Force.
He was laying on the hat, so yeah, I just don't see how that hat can be like behind him and then like up here.
No, I agree.
It would, yeah, that's what I thought it like was like he's laying down in his hat, like resting on his forehead, but it's actually like under his neck.
That is true.
It's like the revive only works if you put it on top of your head, and Luffy's just like, oh yeah, let's put it on my back, and it doesn't work.
You gotta use the item, or if it doesn't work for you.
Right. Oh. Well, Luffy, no, there's no way he was dead. He was just really wounded after that strike, too. I mean, I think I'm just obsessed with the revive thing. I love that.
I think you are.
Maybe Luffy's just a reincarnation of Joy Boy.
Okay.
Just regaining Joy Boy's memories.
Ooh, I do like that. Because then that would make Luffy like know like the whole situation, and then he'd be like oddly like wise, but in his Luffy way, like lackadaisical about it, basically. That would be cool.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay. I'm gonna say something here.
Carmean Piccolo, you know.
Cool kid first.
My only problem with that whole thing is, wouldn't that mean Luffy would know things about the voice sentry? I'm just not okay on really finding out anything substantial on the voice sentry until we reach Laugh Tale or whatever.
You wanted?
I think if you remove the wise aspect of it, is gonna Luffy being wise is gonna ruin the whole.
That's what I feel like. It just takes away from the character.
Not just that. Well, that too.
Okay, Batsana says the Gubba Gubba no fruit sounded lame and weird at first too, though. Batsana also says, by the way, I want to see a renewed version of that scene from Punk Hazard, where Momo dragon form coils around Luffy. Just that full dragon form Luffy coiled by the giant dragon form Momo. So Luffy's like this giant, Luffy's like this giant guy. Then Momo is like giant as well, but Luffy's just so big that it's like coiling around him still. Also, people say Luffy's smile is weird. How so?
Wait a minute. What? The smile.
Yeah.
What if this has to do with the Will of D?
If we get Will of D information, I will. Oh God.
Wait, Will.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh.
Because think about the Will of D. We don't really know just that much about it.
We don't know anything.
Yeah.
We don't know. We thought it was a family thing, and then we saw like Jaguar D Saul, and it's just like, oh, giants can have the Will of D, so this is interesting. Like it's.
Well, I mean,
like, what if the Will of D allows like a temporary body share, Joy Boy?
Kind of like the Avatar in the Avatar. Series.
Yeah, like an awakening, like an Avatar. Where it's still Luffy, but he has the knowledge and the fighting capabilities of the previous Joy Boys.
And then that's why like all these D's kind of like no, okay. And Punk, Dressrosa at the end when Sengoku is talking to Law, he goes, "What do you know about the D name?" Right? Oh man, I lost my train of thought on that. The D. Oh yeah, he's like even the people that wielded that name and changed the world still don't know what it means. They had no idea. AKA, I think what he's saying is like Roger had no idea or something like that. He was saying that not every D knows all the secrets of what the D means. So, unless you have to awaken that power, which is maybe what we're seeing, but why would it awaken now, right? It's because he's at death's door.
Well, remember Kaido. This could play into why Kaido wants to die, because maybe reaching this threshold, you do have to die. Death. He is an avid.
Right.
Death completes the person. Who knows? The reason that he could be so desolate on not becoming Joy Boy is because he can't die. Those are things that actually play into his personality, the trajectory of who he is, and why he probably was captured so many times by the Navy and trying to die, so he could then become Joy Boy. Because we knew it was a part of who he wanted to be.
Ooh. That's interesting.
Yeah, the death thing is funny.
Just because he does lean a lot into this. Death completes the person. Death completes everything. So. But
Batana says, also, what if the hat does play a role? And Shanks gave him the hat for many reasons, one of them being he knew it would help him in a life-death transit. What if Shanks purposely told the five elders about Luffy so that, in desperation, they would intervene in the fight in Wano, leading to near-death awakening?
That one's interesting. Because in essence, they are the ones who caused this new trajectory. In essence, they are the ones who triggered whatever is going to happen for Luffy. So in a twisted piece of ironic fate, by trying to kill him, they actually propelled him into whatever phase they were trying to keep him from.
Also, something interesting I heard about something interesting I heard was, what if Kaido is suicidal in order to awaken his devil fruit? But so you have to die to awaken your devil fruit. So Doflamingo died, right? Or you're just saying maybe it's a special thing to Luffy. I like the idea that I don't know. No, Kaido suicidal or no? It kind of wants to die. If he can't die from hurling off a building, you know, it's like he's just. I mean, can you imagine being immortal and the only way, I think that's more true for Kaido is that he wants every Marine ever to come over and try to kill him. Right? That's why he wants this big war, is so that, you know, like the whole world, or, you know, like the biggest force possible can take him down.
Well, I'm very interested in this flashback. He's here, so I can't say the other way. Just because the war, keep in mind, to your point, Drew, he is, in going on the theme of dying, a excellent death. Whitebeard rocks these amazing wars who killed, and technically the fight with Odin was this amazing war that killed these outstanding fighters that he looks up to. So I could see him literally, instead of waiting for a war to come along which he can then die in, he was just creating a war that could allow him this death which would allow him to become Joy Boy.
Then how come Whitebeard, that didn't happen to Whitebeard then? Oh, he's not a D.
Yeah,
But then Kaido is also not a D, right?
But
Wait a minute.
right.
I'm not necessarily on the
Let
Joy
me
Boy
go this. Are you-
train anymore. I'm not necessarily on that. I'm just saying that
What-
kind
what-
of a big death.
What chapter did, was it that we discovered?
It's every chapter. We discover something in every chapter.
No, the information that the government had Luffy's fruit.
Oh, that was after 1,000.
I don't
Frankie's fight, or sorry,
No, it was
Jinbei's fight.
versus
It was
Yeah, because Who's Who was on the ship. Who's Who was part of CP9 at the time.
I would check out that range.
Oh, Batsana says, no, this awakening is true awakening, so it's like a third level of awakening.
Wait. Are you telling me there's awakening beyond awakening?
I call this awakening. It's awakening 3. Yeah, sure, why not? I like it. A level.
Saying 3 gutted the franchise for me.
Really?
Didn't last long.
Yeah, well,
now Frieza's a good person. I don't like that either. Sorry,
No,
rant
well-
aside.
Frieza was never a good person, even in the tournament. He was scheming.
Okay.
Wait a minute, guys. Wait a
Let me
minute.
ask you.
We're-
No, wait. Well, I'm really curious. What made you think Frieza was a good person? Like,
When he
at
was
all,
fighting
even in
alongside
Super.
of them, when he was fighting alongside of them in a tournament to help them
Well,
win.
it's not. Well, Frieza, he wasn't a good person. He still was backstabbing everyone. The thing is, Frieza, he wasn't good. He was only doing it so he can come back to life.
Right, selfishly.
Still an ally.
Right, they're painting him well. We got to go back into this thing. They're painting Frieza in a good light. You can't deny that.
Like Vegeta.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. They'll paint him in a good light,
Pickle.
but I wouldn't say he's a hero
Okay,
or
fine.
a good person.
But that.
Piccolo and Vegeta.
Hey,
Well,
Moving on.
Moving on.
Alright.
Batsana. Oh, sorry, Doug. Go ahead. Go ahead, Doug.
I found the chapter.
Let's hear it.
1018. And,
Oh, it was a team. I did call it.
on page 12, Who's Who is talking about somebody with Luffy's power from the long distant past, and
Wasn't
there's a little outline, and it kind of looks like Luffy,
maybe.
like the same like rubbery figure. I posted it in general.
Oh, you posted it. Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the sun god Nika?
Yeah, the sun god.
Right. Where am I? General.
Is that Joy Boy? Is that the hair?
You're saying that the sun, Nika, the sun god, and Joy Boy are the same thing?
Oh, you're saying that the hair looks very similar to what's going on with Luffy.
Yeah.
That's very fair. Maybe.
I just see his stuff is more pointy, and then Luffy's is rounded. That's the only problem I have with that.
It looks fiery, but at the same time, we're just seeing the initial billows. So fire does
It
have
could catch on fire. Resin does burn.
Oh.
That is very intriguing.
Batsana says that's his true awakening. We were talking about Super Saiyan 30, and then a level that's unheard of, forgotten lore, that only in near death can true awakening happen, because Kaido is privy to many taboos. But that would imply that Kaido isn't awakened. Also, Kaido and him being ogres still hasn't played a role yet. Also, what is the 5? What if the 5? Wait a minute. That's getting me just to think for a second.
All kind of ogre stuff to do.
Oh my god. So yeah, we have to see why. You know, where's the other ogres? Are they? They're not in the Giants Island, right? There's.
I mean, they're probably dead, knowing how Oda will go with his backstory, presumably.
Right, and then who's Yamato's mom as well?
Oh yeah, we still don't know
Oh,
that.
man.
Poor lady. That poor lady.
I bet she was hot.
Because it seems that Yamato is 100% ogre as well. Seems that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kaido's a big well, I guess I guess Odin and oh man, what's Odin's muse? What's her Time Lady?
So wait 1 second. You're talking about Toki.
Yeah. Hey, they're different sizes, so maybe it doesn't matter.
When Big Mama was talking to King about the races that were lost to time, there were 3. It's King, which is a Lunarian. Do you think she was talking about Kaido's race too, the ogres? Because there were no ogres in Whole Cake Island.
What's the quote?
She said there were 3 races from Whole Cake Island. Giants, for obvious reasons. King's race, we're pretty sure. And what's the last one?
We don't know what that last race was.
And
I think we assumed it was like Birkin. But it could be ogres, Kaido's race.
I guess that would make sense.
could it be that rocks destroyed all the rest of the ogres or something that kept Kaido as like a baby?
Possibly.
That'd be interesting.
Or more than likely the world government did. Because that's what they did to King's race.
What?
Or probably the inhabitants of God Valley, let's be completely honest.
It's kind of weird that there's ogres and what was Ors?
Ors was he was an ancient giant.
An ancient giant. It's kind of like they're demons. Like there's some kind of hell where these devil fruits come from.
Well, you still have like Magellan and Honeyball race.
Yeah. Okay. Let's read the rest of it. Are we good with anyone have anything else on the ogre thing?
I don't really have anything specifically on ogres else, so no.
Okay. Also, what if the 5 elders were scared that Luffy might beat Kaido into near death, and he would awaken the devil fruit, and that was hidden in God Valley? This whole getting beaten to near death, it seems like that's happened a lot to Luffy, and that hasn't happened yet.
Zoro.
And Zoro. Well, Zoro.
Yeah.
But then you could put the caveat that's only for D people or something like that. But then Kaido's not a D, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I think Luffy might have actually died. Right there.
You imagine it's just like Joy Boy for the rest of the series, no more Luffy personality.
And that's where I'm also just like, please no. Because as much as Luffy gives me anxiety, actually next month will be my 17th year of following One Piece. I really don't need Luffy to change his personality like 17 years ago. I really don't. That would be
No,
very
I'm not saying that he would change. I'm just saying that's what brought him back. or awakened it.
I don't know.
Actually...
It could be that Zunisha is the one. It could be that Zunisha is the one that is activating this, right? It could be that it has nothing to do with Luffy's at death's door. It's just that maybe it is that Zunisha sees that Luffy's at death's door. Is like, okay, activate. This weird thing, right?
I don't know if it's exactly.
Go ahead, that's great.
Zunisha bit there.
Well, we don't know because remember Zunisha was. Luffy was able to communicate and hear Zunisha, as well as Momo. Momo, it seems, has a different power than Luffy. But Luffy might be able to communicate with Momo in that state only when Zunisha's there, because he is connected to Joy Boy. That's probably the only reason he was able to hear and understand Zunisha, is because of that Joy Boy component. Not because of him and Momo having the same powers. Momo being tied to the person who imprisons Zunisha, but Joy Boy or the component or whatever the hell being what was a good ally to Zunisha. Two different components, but still in a similar vein. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
Guess so.
so if that's the case, then if what you're saying is the case, then that means Momo won't be able to communicate with the Sea Kings, while Luffy still can, and Shirahoshi.
Yes. Because he's Joy Boy, that's how he can communicate. He can understand Sea Kings and Zunisha, while Shirahoshi probably can't understand Zunisha, and Momo can't understand the Sea King.
Oh.
So that means
You're
that...
playing Momo is one of the ancient weapons there?
No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying Zunisha is an ancient weapon tied to Momo.
Okay.
Well, the power would make more sense.
Like the same way with Shirahoshi then.
Yeah.
So that means so that means which means
So,
Luffy
wait,
might be able to.
Wait, cool kid, let him finish his thought.
Oh yeah,
Cool Kid.
yeah. I'll
Which
let you
means-
finish.
So which means Luffy might be able might not be able to command either the Sea Kings, not even be able to communicate with them, but he can hear them, only hear them, but then when it comes to communication, it will be between Shirahoshi and the Sea Kings, and Momo and Zunisha. So if Luffy needs to give any command, he has to give it to Momo or Shirahoshi, and then they'll give the.
Which we already saw when Luffy was like, Momo, give Zunisha a command to defend himself. That's what had happened when Jack was attacking Zoe. Luffy was screaming, Momo, give him an order. You can do that.
Yeah. I remember that. So that makes sense.
It's absolutely insane. I love One Piece so much. And that's the thing. We've just been an hour just theorizing. Completely wrong. Not even close. Everything is logical. And
Yeah.
Oda's just like, I mean, that's a cool idea, but it's wrong.
Yeah. Hey, let's finish up. Batsana has about 1 million messages here. I just want to get through them real quick, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. We talked about how he's the last surviving ogre. Okay. We're scared. In preventing, they accidentally awakened his fruit. Okay. Oh, you bet ogre lineage will play a crucial role, as Kaido has emphasized this multiple times. It's unlike Oda to emphasize a plot thread multiple times and never cast it aside or be brought up again. Opposite. Rocks probably rescued the last surviving ogre, and ogre's history is definitely tied to Wano, a blood debt to be repaid or something. Kaido's hate is too intense, and his emphasis on Wano is strong. What if the condition to awaken is the user has to prove to his devil fruit that they are similar, as in Luffy needs to prove to his devil fruit that he can bounce back no matter how badly he's defeated. Nice wordplay there. Well, just to pause, I hate to not finish this paragraph, but Luffy has tested himself over and over again. Who else would be worthy of it? Even when he was a kid, he was worthy of it. You know, like he is. So that part maybe not for me, just because Luffy has proved himself over and over again. anyway, Luffy needs to prove his devil fruit, and this particular fruit's awakening needs him to bounce back from even death, which is theoretically possible. That's 800 years since it was last awakened. Now that we can take little pieces from. Like, some devil fruits are easier to awaken than others. Like, for instance, maybe the string fruit is a really easy one to awaken. And, some of them are easier than others. Because we don't see a lot of people awakening their devil fruits, because it's hard to do. Some devil fruits might be harder than others. That could be so as well. And so I do like that. Because the devil fruit is definitely an entity that is being brought into you. It's another form. It's a devil that's inside of you, because they kind of painted that picture, comically in Impel Down. But the idea that a devil is somebody you have to win over, I do like that. But also, Luffy's should have won him over time and time again.
You would think, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless what you're saying, like, when if Luffy and his devil fruit don't mesh because he's good and then the devil is bad. But then the Marines have a devil. Oh, I guess being a Marine doesn't make you good. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Oh. The scenes in One Piece,
Here's the thing. I don't think it's gonna be something like. I don't think it's going to be something like. You like consciously taking over the devil power. It's just like maybe when you reach a certain threshold, you'll be able to access more abilities of that the devil possesses. Maybe that's what the awakening is.
Okay. All right. Well, it's an hour 6, and we said that this was the power hour, so we could just talk about some random things now and kind of meander.
Actually, want to get quick thoughts on the new casting news. You guys seen it, right?
Yes. Here, I'm gonna get the picture up.
I want to see your quick thoughts on it.
I'm gonna look that up. So if you have any thoughts, let me know.
Yeah, Cool Kid put it in general a while ago.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna grab it.
I can start since I'm already looking. Let's see here. The big one. Let's start with the big ones and work our way down. Big one, number 1, Garp. Garp is I think I haven't understood this individual's acting chops, but if he has like a serious mode and a comedy mode, I think he's good. I do like how none of them are big-time actors or actresses, so it's not like Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is Luffy?
No, Chris Pratt is Buggy. That's what I was afraid of. Sorry, no, Jack Black is Buggy. Like, things like that. I'm just glad that I'm very interested in the next guy, Jeff Ward. No idea who he is. He does seem like he could be funny, but also be like a little bit of a can be a somewhat threat. I'm interested in him.
Did you see his reel on Randy Troy's channel?
I haven't seen any of their reels.
So yeah, Jeff Ward, he was pretty funny. He was like an intimidating. He was like on CSI or something, and he was like intense. He was like he was like the Joker. He was playing like a Joker character.
Good.
And so he was cool. Alvida. Audia, she won't have a big role. In fact, she gets skinny, so I don't know. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of a short role for her.
What they're gonna do? That's gonna be very.
so
I could see them not even making her skinny and just giving her the devil fruit and being like, she's beautiful and skinny anyway.
I don't know.
Sure.
She could play a bigger role in it if she,
That's inappropriate to say she could play a bigger role.
Very good, very good.
Oh my god.
Well, they haven't done Captain Morgan, and they did Alvida, and they have as much screen time together in the beginning as...
That's the thing, we might not see. We're now starting to get to the components where things are going to be cut. And I can see Alvida and all of this being, and Helmeppo and all of them being...
Helmeppo's dad is Axine Morgan.
I know, but I could see Axan Morgan not being the villain and Alvida being the overarching villain.
That I do like. Anyway, yes. And Aaliyah, by the way, she was really funny. She was like this like bossy big girl.
Oh, okay.
And more comedy though. More comedy. Now, as far as McKinley Bleacher, he plays kind of like more Belcher. From what I saw, it was like more like he was like in the streets hood kind of, and repping, and
I'm very down for it.
And so there wasn't a lot of like him being like Arlong, which is psychotic, basically. But yeah, so that's gonna be good. I don't know anything about Kobe or Homepo or Grant.
The thing with McKinley, and people unfortunately were coming after him on Twitter, is like, you should know that Arlong is from a race of people who were downtrodden. You were typecast for this, and the guy's like, I thank you for understanding where Arlong comes from, but I would also like to act as this person. And I'm sitting here like, full stop. This person would have been pissed if they cast Arlong as the white person. I guarantee you.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you just can't make anyone happy. As a black person, I feel much more comfortable with Arlong being a person of color, and maybe having that lived experience of racism, being like, okay, I can bring this into a role. These things work. Sorry, it doesn't make any sense for someone to be pissed off by that typecast.
Along with his crew.
Yeah, exactly. So not everyone has to be a person of color, but then that's essential to Arlong's character. It does make sense to have a minority in that role. It works.
You guys know Rogue One?
Was he in there?
No. I forget what his name is. It's like Washington or something. But the black guy with the gray hair who's in that movie, it's like a really powerful guy. He's like hooked up to a bunch of air respirators.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that would have been a cool cast as well, but I'm sure he's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that at least for season 1, they're probably not going to get like any real big names. Maybe for just like a one-time character, but that's a big. I even doubt that.
Have we seen Mihawk's casting?
No.
Nope.
That might be the one then. I could see Mihawk being the one being like a big cast.
He's only in there every once in a while.
The end of the series makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big climactic, unless they ended it.
I just hope they recast Luffy.
You do hope they recast Luffy? Whoa, that's a hot
thing. What?
You don't like him?
No, he's the only one I don't like.
And you're talking about Luffy, titular protector. Okay?
Yeah.
None
of these I don't like.
And you've had some time to think about that one too.
I know, because I thought he matched. I thought he was matching.
I thought it was pretty good, and
I still do.
Obviously, I still haven't seen anything he was really in, and personally, I still am on the firm belief that I can make these estimated guesses, but I won't know truly if any of these guys are a good match until I see, some kind of like actual footage, either from a trailer or something. I need something more substantial.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait for him to punch Alvida's character and everyone try and cancel him.
No, come on. It's fair rights. Women get Luffy punch as well. There's no discrimination.
Yeah, he's just gonna like give her a hug and everyone's gonna be like, he did that!
Yeah, well, maybe.
I think it's fair to say that Skinny Alvida may not happen as well as Axan Morgan, in how things are shaping up. We didn't even talk about Toby and Carmean. Go ahead.
She's not skinny. She's just not like Alvida sized.
Oh yeah, it could be that like Alvida's like huge and then like she's like still fat, but it's like, oh my god, she's lost a lot of weight.
Or just like muscular. She just becomes more muscular. That might be our way of not getting canceled.
Or they just replace the actress, and then make it
that won't be controversial at all.
Well, it's got. Well, I mean, it's just the story. It's the story. Is that you eat this fruit and you become smooth and you become
I
skinny.
think it sounds like that just makes sense to the people that get outraged.
They're not gonna get outraged. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. But whatever.
There will be outrage. I don't know if it'll be big enough, but there will be some kind of Twitter outrage.
And it'll be people that don't even watch it. Any
man.
thoughts on Colby and Helmeppo's characters?
I mean, okay, for me at least, they look alright. They might fit the job role good. I mean, especially with who's the Helmeppo actor?
Aiden?
Yeah, Aiden. He definitely has that. What do you call it?
They're both they them.
Yeah. Sorry. They have a definitely a jerk kind of looking face.
They found two of them.
Yeah, right. Aiden looks a lot like the guy who played Ooze Reek, Greyjoy.
Yeah.
He looks like Greyjoy.
Yeah. Theon.
No. Yes. Theon. Yes. He looks. They look a lot like Theon. Morgan. We'll see. It really just depends when we get. We'll see if they make Morgan a little bit chubby for before and after, or if like Morgan just looks the same the entire time. Because actually, no, we won't even see Morgan after work. Well, Garth is.
Yeah, that actually. I'm surprised no one talked about that.
Garth's
Garth's going to be here pretty early, so I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I did have the theory, think that maybe at we'll see Garth, not chasing Luffy, but he'll arrive at islands, after Luffy leaves.
But the what is it? The producer, whatever, was having that interview with a bunch of One Piece YouTubers, and they said that they were going to follow the story very closely, didn't they?
Doesn't look like it.
Why not?
I mean,
if they're doing,
because I don't know, because I'm thinking about it, in the way, remember that episode 1 leak from a long time ago that said, oh yeah, there was going to be Kong and Sengoku at Roger's execution or something. So, what I think is they might, introduce some of these, I guess, bigger characters, just a little bit early or long down the road.
So I think when they say they're gonna follow the story closely, I think they meant more of the manga than the anime, since the anime obviously is it has filler scenes and stuff that are not included in the manga. So maybe they're gonna cut most of those stuff out.
Mucho dinero, what's up?
Your story from the manga, which will make it shorter than the anime.
Well, again, as far as the beginning between manga and anime, it starts with Luffy coming out of a bucket, and then we get a flashback. I'm hoping Garp is going to be a part. Yeah, they haven't even cast Shanks yet. So it does seem like the manga storyline starts off baby Luffy, and then he meets Kobe and Alvida. But thank
God! So they actually have to cast an actual Luffy then.
Oh yeah, young Luffy.
Yeah, we're gonna get hopefully a baby Luffy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they're gonna do. Not sure how they're gonna do the whole him stabbing himself in the face. This is very westernized, so that'll probably be changed.
Yeah, but you gotta have time for him to hone in his devil fruit, so he has to be young. You have to have a kid actor just replace him for one episode.
Oh yeah. But again, that means we still need to see the castings for Shanks. Let's see if they have Lucky Room. Let's see if they have the bandit scene, which is going. I would argue that bandit scene is so integral for who Luffy is, because that sets up Bellamy and Jaya in the contrast of who Luffy is. it sets up for him eating the damn fruits because he's so angry that he wants to eat something and then he eats the fruit. And then it sets up the scene with the King of the Coast. So it's there's so many things to where if they pull on one string, a lot of stuff will have to be changed.
That's why I'm thinking they're gonna follow it pretty closely.
I think I absolutely think there will be changes, and I don't know how much changes. It's just hard to figure out at this point, because all we have is just casting details, and all we can do is just make speculations of maybe they'll have this, maybe they won't.
But the castings allow us to know who's included, though.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where the heck they're going to be doing with Garp. Like,
And that's what, again, that's where we're at. Does Garp now replace, heaven forbid, does Garp replace Shanks as the one who gave him the Shaw hat? Like, there are so many strings.
We're not gonna do that.
That would be absolutely, such a big change.
Guys, that was the original
Idea, right?
With the
Romance done.
Oh, it's so cringe too. The Peace Mains and the Pirates. Oh god, it's so bad.
Oh, I don't remember the Pirates. I thought it was just pirates.
Yeah, it was called. They were Pirates and Peace Mains, and it is so cringe. Oh.
Well, that's why it wasn't the first chapter.
So, how many?
In that, Garp gives him the straw hat. And Garp's not even a Marine. He's a pirate.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know if they're going to pull that into Garp. I still think they would probably keep him on Marine, not pull stuff from the pilot.
Yeah, because you gotta take Kobe to the Marines. You gotta take Helmeppo to the Marines. What they could do is just introduce Garp right at that island.
Yeah,
though.
that's what they could do. They could do for an episode, do the cover page story or whatever.
Yeah, or just in between some scenes.
I hope so. I truly do hope so.
Yeah.
That means that we get Little Buggy too.
I forgot about that.
we get Buggy. Wait, what was it? Battle Buggy? No, Buggy. What's a Little Buggy? Yeah. Anyway.
And there was a flashback. No, was there a Shanks and Rayleigh flashback of that? Because I'm pretty sure there was during Orangetown.
Yeah, there was a Buggy flashback where they were arguing which is colder, the North or South Pole. Yeah,
So who knows? We might even be able to see Rayleigh. But cool kid, I'm not sure if we'll get a Shueisha.
Why not? I think we will.
That's just too much stuff, man. We're looking at what, 10 episodes, an hour each.
I'll be right. Yeah, interesting. I want to finish this in the next few, 15 minutes ish. So I want to go on to what we're all talking about, which is ranking of kings. I know you guys talked about it for a second in your best stuff of 2022, I think, in your live stream.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for that. But man, this series. So ranking of kings. It's about this little guy who's deaf and mute, and he has zero power, and he has a brother who has it all. He's he's good looking. He's really good with the sword. But anyway, he has to make his way up the ranking of kings. He's got to be number one, kind of like Luffy's, want to be the king of the pirates thing. And I just am in love with this. I just love the idea of somebody weak coming, basically anybody, if you follow your dreams, you can do it. Like, anybody can do anything. If you have no strength, you can be the most powerful king in the world. It's a great story of success, and oddities, and the animation is like a great cross of, let's see, I'll call
animation. I'm not gonna lie.
What's that?
I slept on it. I looked at the animation, and this is a big thing a lot of people had, is they look at the animation, it was like, oh, this is too Studio Ghibli-ish. This is too, Western, old Bible cartoons. Remember those from back in the day? It has that look, and that's why I personally was like, no, won't watch it. And then finally, someone came out with it. And someone else came out with it. Someone else, and I'm like,
Yeah, you guys got me to watch it.
And then I got you, and I got Bullet on it.
Well, while I haven't seen the series, I think it's not more about the animation, but the art style that people were thrown off by.
Yeah. I consider both of those synonymous.
Yeah, definitely.
To your point, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all the same art form. Okay, sorry about that. What I was gonna say, it's a cross from like a cartoon and an anime. It has those rounded shapes, and I don't know.
Colors, things like that.
The dude that did the manga, it's like 41, and it's his first manga that he's ever done.
Was he just like
very well cultivated? You can tell the care put into everything. It makes sense.
But was he just like a hand before that? An assistant?
I think it was his first time like in the industry.
I really hope he was just like some businessman who's just like, screw this. I want to make a manga that I want to read.
Right.
It's just like, yo.
That's amazing. I love that. Anyway,
it's a great series. We will do our best not to spoil. If you guys want to go into detail, I will deafen, just because I would definitely fight over any leaked information. I got as far as Boiji confronting his teacher, who was mean. That's the best way I can put it. As well as he made a friend, but his friend had to go somewhere to help out with something. And the friend I loved, because he's just this big green dude. He's like, oh, smash. He's like, but a friend is also just like, I like this kid. I want to follow this kid. Just like everyone who watches it is just like, I like this kid. I love this kid. I will destroy cities for this kid.
Well,
that's pretty much the transition of people who watch the show.
They take everybody and give them a chance. Like, no matter... Oh, I love it. I do like it.
I know, but the damn lion monsters are just like, oh, now I gotta feel bad.
Right. No, but everyone turns into an ally. Everyone turns into an ally. Even the grouchy king of the underworld becomes a somewhat ally of Boji. And no, I just think, I said this, I forget if it was recorded or not, but I think if this series was as long as One Piece, it would be... if this series was as long as it is as One Piece is long, it would be better. It would be a better series.
We're in its infancy, and that's the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not brave enough to look up the manga. I am not. If I get spoiled, I'm fighting myself.
The anime's too good. The anime's too good.
So that's why I'm just thinking, if the manga is like 200 chapters right now, we're looking at an almost 100-episode series. And it's already garnered this much activity in its first 24 seasons. I could see this being a 4 or 5 24-episode season, and just kidding every single. Because there are only 2 episodes left of this current season, right?
Yeah, it's a 24. They're gonna do 24s then.
All right, guys. I'm gonna do it live on stream. I'm gonna look up
how many chapters,
how long chapters are.
I think they're probably double. They're probably at 50.
Oh, it's still going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
small volume, which is around like 120 some chapters.
Well, that depends on like how many.
Mm-hmm.
It can vary from manga to manga.
The only thing left for anyway, I don't want to get into too much, but like there's a whole aspect that we can dive into with Boji. Like there's so much interest in the series. There's magic elements, different kingdoms. There's so much to dive into. I just think this series has so much potential, and not only potential, but it's good now. It's good now.
And the fact that the music is just a banger.
Oh
It's part of my morning, and I have like 10 songs that I wake up to every morning. That is the first song. It just starts your day. You have Boise, you have Kage, my two boys. It's just, you know why he won Best Boy of the Year, and the season hadn't even finished yet. That's how big and impactful ranking of him is. Series isn't even done yet, and it's something as trivial as Crunchyroll's like, hey, we should probably include this dude, see how it goes, and he wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a good series. Definitely watch that. I just watched the Batman last weekend. Very good. Did you see it?
I haven't seen. I'm still planning to watch it soon.
Okay. Well, I'll give you my non-spoiler review for it. How's that?
I mean, I don't care for spoilers, but some of these other people might.
Okay, well, this is my non...
I'm fine with spoilers. I'm fine with spoilers for everything except the ending. I'm finding out.
Doug,
I'm not that big in the Batman.
Yeah. Doug, you've watched it.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
10.
Oh.
Ooh.
Really?
The Batman voice. Is it like this, or is it like...
Like...
He didn't talk much.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't a whole lot of voice. It was mainly cinema. So.
Mainly.
La da da. Okay, sorry. Testing my mic.
I like the sound of that.
La da da.
Are you sure you didn't slip off while watching it?
I took a pee break.
Oh.
I took a pee break in the middle, like right after. Well.
I mean, to be fair, it's like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to watch a 3-hour movie, it's like, okay, I need to absolutely make sure I don't need to go in the restroom, or I need to refill my soda or whatever.
I gotta refill my extra large soda at halftime. Okay, so Robert Pattinson plays a way more emo role. He's like, everything's stupid.
He's like, he walks everywhere too.
Right. He's yeah, you're right. There's a lot of him walking. He has
cholesterol must be looking really good, huh?
Right. But yeah, it's just a really, really, really real take. It's the realest Batman there's ever been. It's just like everything is like really down to the ground.
Like I thought I wouldn't like it because it was, you know, the dude from Twilight. But
Robert Pattinson, he slaps.
I'm going to tell you the same thing people thought before when the original Dark Knight with Heath Ledger, what he used to be known for, and then boom.
Oh yeah, that was the big.
We did go through this when I was in college with Heath Ledger. I remember that. Oh god, I feel old.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I did think it was really good. I give it 8.9 out of 10. I can't even tell you where the 1.1 is missing there. Maybe I'll give it 9. I'll give it 9. I really liked it. I think I like to see more silliness and like a little bit more like technology. I think that would be my only critique.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you would agree with the statement because I haven't seen the movie, but I did hear somewhere where someone said this movie is the best Batman movie, but not the best movie with Batman. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, that's a good synopsis.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I heard someone said basically that.
I think it's tied. Well,
I mean, the only comparison is Dark Knight to compare it to, really.
I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a toss-up between Dark Knight and this one.
I'll say that the Dark Knight is just more culturally renowned. Like no one's freaking out like they did when they were freaking out over
Heath Ledger is the Joker, man.
Right. So yeah, I think the Dark Knight.
People were freaking out back then. I remember.
Yeah, it's not that big right now. It's not. People aren't freaking out. People are like, oh yeah, man, this is really good. That's all. Yeah, no, definitely see it. Definitely see it. It's quite the theater experience. It's the music's insane. We went to
yeah, definitely worth it to see it in theater.
Ooh.
They cast Robert Pattinson because
My nice theater experience.
they cast Robert Pattinson because he looked like whoever sings Creed or something like that. He looks like Creed, so they wanted to cast him. And yeah, so there are a bunch of Creed songs in there, and they're just immaculately placed, like just awesome soundtrack. So yeah, definitely see it, Batman. All right, that's it.
I just got done diving through Osama ranking. Didn't get spoiled. Almost did. That was scary.
Yeah, how many chapters?
Okay.
But we just passed 100, and there's about 104 chapters. I guess the anime is doing all 12 of the first volume. So, or the entirety of what manga is out. So there's going to be a long
Wow.
next season. Just saying that.
Okay. You got what else we talked about? Oh yeah, Dr. Stone, the manga recently ended.
Yeah, it makes sense for the story, but I was not a fan of it, how it ended.
Okay, I'll just give my quick non-spoiler.
Hold on. Oh, non-spoiler. Okay, I have not.
Okay. I'll just give you my quick non-spoiler thought. I did like it, kind of. At first, I was a little off by what they put off, but then I was like, well, it kind of makes sense to literally make the impossible, or the road to.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
It has the elements tie into the Byakuga reboot that came out in 2019.
Yeah, I love that.
Which serves into an element similar to DBZ, and that's all I'm going to say about that, which will drive Bullet nuts, and I love it.
Go.
Wait, you said DBZ? Sounds are we talking like Trunk Saga?
Not saying.
Not saying shit.
You're not a fan?
Yeah.
I see what you did there. I'm not saying. Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but man, I will really miss Boichi's artwork. God, I love his art.
You can see a lot more because he's a hentai. So
Ooh,
go ahead.
Really?
He really was. Now, it makes a lot of sense when you look at how he draws Kohaku, who's now older than 18 in the series.
Noted. Noted.
Well, technically.
Everyone's good.
Lord. So Green, have you been watching anything new? Anything buzzing coming up? That's fine. You've been marketing.
I wanted to ask you guys this. As I told you guys offline, a friend is asking me for anime recommendation. He said he's not. I don't think he's gonna finish Attack on Titan. He already knows what happened. I think he has read Dr. Stone. I'm not really sure, but I think since you guys are pushing Ranking of Kings a lot, so I'm just gonna tell him Ranking of Kings.
I love for us.
We also have a lovely best anime of 2021 video that you can always send his way as well.
Yes.
You can watch our 2021 video. Link in the description or on the channel or whatever.
Is there a manga version?
No, I didn't do the best manga of 2021.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't read that much manga.
I don't. I'm a shonen. I'm a 30-year-old shonen fanboy. I'll admit that.
I mean, look what the hell we're reading. We're reading One Piece.
Fair.
Even if it's peak, it's still shonen.
Yeah, but I also have to remind myself on multiple occasions, this is meant for 17-year-olds. You should not take it too seriously.
It's meant for 17-year-olds for more than 17 years.
Literally. That's I can't wait. I might actually do something for my anniversary.
17 years, but okay.
Well, for me, it's been 17 years. I'll probably do something next month for my anniversary.
Oh, your One Piece anniversary.
I don't know the day.
Do like a special stream.
Uh-oh.
I've been watching One Piece longer than you've been alive.
I mean, without knowing your age, I can at least agree with that.
For the demographic, it really is. Demographic's like 14 to 17, so yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys. We're gonna end it right there. Yeah, go ahead. We have a chapter next week, so we'll be able to come out
Chapter
and do
next
that.
week, we have a video coming out tomorrow. It's
Mm.
going to be a video essay on Sakuga and why you should watch it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we're all really excited to watch that one. And yeah, check out everyone's links in the description. It's a green, cool kid. Bullet, thanks for coming. Yeah, thank you, and have a lovely day, lovely Sunday. Go do something fun. Toodles.
Too.
Yeah, good one.